Hello, everybody. This is MoveEasy Yoga with Via. Today is October 17th, 2020, or maybe it's another day for you if you watch this on a replay on my YouTube channel. So let's get started. Just lying on your back in the ordinary fashion. You may want to put a mobility strip under your waist if you have lower back issues, or a rolled up towel just to create more stability at your lower back. Knees bent, feet on the floor, cervical spine in neutral, just watching your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Not trying to change anything, just watching the breath you came in with. Feel the floor supporting you underneath you. Feel your breath supporting you. Feel the air supporting you.
I don't have Kathy modeling.
Oh, let me see what happened. Okay. Do you have her now?
I have it now. Okay.
Well, I probably pushed the wrong button. I'm thinking. Spend a minute focusing on your pituitary gland. I'm going to tell you where it's located. Just think of the nerves, the optic nerves that run through the back of the eyeball socket, and they cross. And where they cross, imagine that they're crossing behind the eye sockets, crossing, and just a little bit below that is the pituitary gland. This is a very nice place to rest in, rest your mind on and in. Bring your hands behind your head for vagus nerve reset. Interlace your fingers or stack your hands, one on top of the other. And without moving anything else but your eyeballs, shift your eyeballs to the right. And wait for an involuntary sigh, swallow, yawn, or gulp. Come back to center. Shift your eyeballs to the left. And wait for a sigh, yawn, swallow, or gulp. Come back to center. Repeat 2 more times, 2 sets, right, left, without my cueing. This is a nice way to start your practice, here or at home. Just it releases tension in the body and in the mind, actually. finish up, and we're going to start head ramping. So just leaving your hands where they are and then pressing the back of your skull at the base, the occipital ridge. Press that into the floor, into your hands, into the floor, into the mat. The back of the skull slides up because of the pressure, and the chin drops. And take a couple breaths and then release and repeat. Repeat this 5 times. If you have rounded shoulder, if you have text neck, if you work on a computer, drive a car, if you read a book, if you use your cell phone, this is a good counter action for those repetitive movements that round your shoulders and your head, bring your head forward. If you have if you have an issue here, I would do this once every hour, a set every hour during your day. When you're finished with head wrapping, just bring your arms down by your hips, beside your body, your torso. We're going to practice Viloma breathing today for breathwork, the breathwork segment of the class. Viloma breathing, on the inhale, you divide your breath into 3 parts. Inhaling and filling a third of the lungs, pausing, second inhale, second third of the lungs, pausing, and then one more inhale, pausing. And on your exhale, just exhaling normally. One more breath. Now we're going to do a bridge hypopressive. So staying in the same shape you're in, with your knees bent, but heels on the floor and the feet towards the ceiling, so the ankles are dorsiflex. In this pose, you're going to take 3 breaths. I'll cue the breaths, 3 breaths. And then after the end of the 3rd breath, hold your breath out while you lift your hips. Kathy's going to demonstrate this, and bring your arms overhead. And then I count to 12. You stay there as long, or if you need to come out early, do come out early. And then on an inhale, after the count, and an exhale, just come on down. Hypopressives for core and pelvic floor work. Okay, we'll do 2 of them, 2 sets. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath. Inhale. Exhale. Hold your breath out, no breath. Lift your hips, bring your arms overhead. Stay here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Inhale, drop your hips. Exhale, drop your arms. And we'll do it again. Okay, remember to have your ankles your feet dorsiflexed. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath, inhale. Last exhale, exhale all the way out. Hold your breath out, lift your hips, bring your arms overhead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Inhale, drop your hips. Exhale, drop your arms. Good. We're going to start the rest of the class with leg stretch 1 and 2. You're going to need a strap. This is a bone building stretch. We're going to hold it for 40 seconds. I will time. Lie on your back. You may have something under your head, a strap around your foot, the ball of your foot. Keep your hip on the floor, your pelvis on the floor. Straighten your leg as much as you can and bring it towards you. And timing, 40 seconds. Stay here and breathe. So if you have to, you can bend your leg a little. This is also a hamstring stretch. Just stay here and breathe, becoming aware of your breath and aware of your movement. 40 seconds after, I think it's 7 or 9 seconds, the osteocytes kick in and start building new bone all the way up to 72 seconds. But I'm only holding for 40. We have to consider our students as well as the osteocytes. Now, stay here. We'll do leg stretch 2 on the right. This time you're just bringing your right leg out to the right. Try to keep your torso and your hips on the floor. So you may or may not get your leg out as far as Kathy. And if you want to, you can use your strap to pull your leg a little towards your armpit. And staying here and breathing, leg stretch 2. Dr. Fishman, Lauren Fishman, who's the king of osteoporosis and yoga for osteoporosis prevention and rehabilitation, does not do leg stretch 3, so neither do I. He says leg stretch 3 causes you to round your back. He doesn't want you to round your back. Come on up. Other side. So the first leg stretch 1, leg toward the ceiling. Remember to keep your hips on pelvis on the floor. Bring your leg towards your face. Holding on to each hand has one side of the strap in it. And just breathing and waiting. Thanking the osteocytes for kicking in on your behalf. Even if you don't have osteoporosis, this will help you keep from going that direction with your bone density. At that point, it's a preventative measure. We all go ahead and switch, drop your leg out to the left leg to the left. Keep the hips on the floor, keep the shoulders on the floor. So we all start to lose bone density at age 30, and then it drops and drops and drops. And sometimes you can avoid osteoporosis. I think the older you get, the more likely you are to have it. You should measure your bone density every couple of years. Once you get over 60, and maybe earlier, at least by 60. Come on back. We're going to do another straight leg medial hamstring stretch with resistance. So set aside your strap and straighten your right leg and bring it up toward the ceiling and wrap your hands around the back of it. Leg up to ceiling. And now what you're going to do is use your hands to pull your leg towards you as you resist by pushing the thigh away. So this is a Ki-Har resistance stretch. You're going back and forth, but you're always moving and always resisting. So when the hands win, the thigh is resisting, and again, you should feel the push. So it's not just pulling the leg towards you, it's pulling the leg towards you while the leg is resisting the forward movement. And then the same going back. So as your leg comes back, your hand is resisting the backward movement of the thigh. Go ahead and switch sides and do it on the other side. This is a really nice stretch for the medial hamstring. Sometimes hamstring tightness is what creates or can contribute to lower back issues. And go ahead and finish up. Come up to standing. We're going to do and grab a therapy ball or a tennis ball. I hope you have something, Christine. If you don't have something, tell me what you have. If you have something, tell me if that's what you have. So that is very large, but maybe I think that's better than nothing. So try to do it with that. And that's good I think that looks like a sponge ball to me. So that may be good for some other things. So here you are standing up, and I want you to walk around and just walk around in your normal gait and notice what it feels like to walk around. And then
We need to mark the foot.
yes, please. And Kathy's going to mark the bottom of her foot and show you the 6 points at which we're going to place the ball and compress the ball. So Christine, you don't have a tennis ball or something like that, smaller? She's going to go look, I guess. So the first point is just below the mound, yeah, right in the middle. And then right in the center of the arch, 2. And then just above the heel, 3. So along that front to back arch. And then the next one is on the outside of the middle. So, and then on the inside. And then above that last one is number 6, which is just below the big toe mound. So those are the 6 positions that we're going to place the ball and hold for, I'm going to turn for 15 seconds, actually, I think, in this. Okay, starting with your right foot. This is kind of a balancing, so you may want to get near a safe place near a wall, near a chair. So place your ball, I'm losing my voice, at location number 1, which is in the middle at the top, just below the mound, the ball of the foot, what's called the ball of the foot. We're just going to stay here for 15 seconds. I'll time you. Try to stand up straight. I know it's tempting to look down and round forward and check your ball, but that's why you're near a safe point, so you don't have to do that. Point number 2 is right in the center of the arch. Just staying here, breathing, becoming aware of your breath and aware of what's happening on the bottom of your foot. And number 3 is at just in front of the calcaneus, or the heel. So just in front of that. Number 4 is in the center, but to the outside. So back to that center position, that number 2 position, and then to the outside of that. It's number 4. And number 5 is just across the way. Stay in the center of the foot, but on the inside. And you're just compressing body weight on therapy ball. Number, let's see, 6, the last one, is just under the big toe mound. Just find that placement and start to breathe and watch your breath and watch what's happening at that point underneath your foot. Switch sides. It's too bad Gloria's not here. I'm gonna, well, I'll have to tell her about this. I actually designed this whole series for her because I had a private with her yesterday and I watched her move and she really needed some footwork. Okay, point number 1 is just in the middle of the foot, just below the ball of the foot. So I designed this. I thought we haven't done it for a while. Let's do some footwork. And point number 2 is right in the middle of the arch that runs from front to back. Point number 3 is just in front of the heel. And point number 4, come back to the middle of the front to back arch and then out to the outside of the foot. So to the outside of location 2. This, for some people, this can be very tender area. The more you do these things, the more your foot will start to heal from some of the tension it's holding. Number 5, go straight across to the inside of that arch, center arch. This can also be very tender. This is number 5, so we only have one more location. Emily Splitchell recommends you do this once a day for spend 5 minutes on your feet once a day like this. Up, just underneath the big toe mound. This is number 6, the last one. Okay, go ahead and walk around before you come to a chair seated position. Walk around and see if there's any difference between how your feet feel now and how they felt before this exercise. There's no right or wrong answer. This is an awareness of your own body and your own feet. We're going to do something for the knees, and then we're going to add an ankle circle. So this might help you, Christine, with your knees. This is just a simple bent knee lift while you're on the floor. So just lift your knee up and then bring it down. We're not crossing yet. That will come next, Kathy.
Okay.
This is just a knee lift. Lift the knee and drop it. Lift and drop. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do with you because of your short legs or your long chair, but I want to be able. Okay, so this is the second part of this knee lift is just keeping your heel on the floor. Keep your heel on the floor. Yes, out. And now bring it up and drop it. Drop the knee, bend the knee. Bend the knee and bring it down. So do it on the other side. Heel goes out, straight leg. Now lift the leg and drop, bend the knee and drop it. Okay, up, bend, drop. So go ahead and put a brick between your knee and see if that helps you. And other people can do this too. I think that might keep, it might be too much, but it might keep everything a little more stable. Unless it feels like you can't. Is it hard to keep the brick there?
Yeah, that's fine.
It wiggles, but.
It restricts me a little, so that's good though.
Okay, now the last thing you're going to do is just lift your knee, right knee up and circle, make ankle circles just from this position. And if this is too much to hold your knee up like that, you could actually put your foot on the floor and still make circles. Other direction, please. And switch sides just for ankle circles, knee lift, ankle circles. And now drop your foot Take your right foot up, knee up towards your chest, and cross your ankle over your other thigh. And from here, toe handshake. So thread your fingers between your toes, fingers of one hand between the toes. And then once you do that, get as far down as you can. Just this is quite a bit of work for the feet and toes. And then you can circle or flex and you can just wiggle your foot with your hand. This is an active shake. And before we go in both directions, and before we switch to the other side, go ahead and pull, use your hand, release your fingers, use your hand to pull your big toe away and your little toe away from the center. And just pull. And now just focusing on the big toe. See if you can move the big toe without any help from your hands. Move it away from center. See if you can move it away from center. You may have to hold on to your other toes. And now adding on to that, put your hand, one hand on the side of your big toe to create some resistance while you press your big toe into your hand. So the big toe is still going to go away from the center. It's going to go into the big hand, to the hand, and so there's pressure, resistance, and you might be able to feel this muscle that runs sort of along the side of the foot from the big toe, which is actually very weak sometimes. You might be able to feel that muscle as you push your big toe into your hand. Go ahead and switch sides. Bring one foot down, that foot down, bring this foot up. The hand-toe shake. Fingers between the toes, and then just wiggle your foot, flex and extend, make a circle. You're not really making a circle with the ankles so much as with the toes. Stirring the toes. Anything you can do with your feet and toes like this, pulling on them, wiggling them, tugging, stirring is beneficial. And then stop that, and then take your hand and pull your little toe and your big toe away from center. So the little toe and the big toe suffer the most from narrow toe boxes over the years. And that's one of the reasons we get bunions. Actually, you can get bunions on both sides. And this kind of activity will actually help either prevent bunions or help them to reduce bunions. Now go ahead and just put one hand on top of this. Oh, try taking your big toe and moving it away from the center of its own accord. So nothing on it, nothing helping. You're not pulling. Just see if you can have the muscle that runs along the side of the foot from the big toe. See if you can find that muscle. And now add a little resistance by putting your hand on top of your big toe and pressing the big toe away from the center of the foot into the hand that is resisting the movement, but also helping you notice the movement. So big toe work. Let's go on to standing up for a three-way ankle stretch. So this time you're going to need a half round or a small thin brick. But the half round is better, just so you know. And it's pretty easy to get. It's one of the props I recommend for this class, mainly for this exercise, actually. You can put it against a wall so it doesn't slip away. Kathy's putting it not against a wall so you can see what she's doing.
Well, I have a wall here.
Well, you have a wall on one end. So the right foot is on the left side of the half round. This in itself, just standing, is a nice ankle stretch. However, we're going to go beyond that. And Kathy's going to move her leg behind or in front so you can see your left leg. But you can just leave your left leg beside the right leg, but off of the half round. Now all you're going to do is you're going to flex your ankle towards the front. So make sure this is an ankle movement, not a knee movement. If it bothers your knee, you've gone too far. Even if you feel that the knee is the activator, the knee is not initiating this movement, it's the ankle. You're going forward with the ankle. And do that about 6 times. And then stop doing that. And this time you're just going to make the same movement, the same ankle flexion, but make it go a little towards the outside of the foot. Six times. Remember, the work is the body part that initiates this movement is the ankle. Ankle flexion, forward flexion. It's forward and a little bit to the outside of the foot. And then the last one, this is a 3-point ankle stretch inside. So forward flexion, a little towards the inside of the foot. This is probably the smallest range of motion available to you here. But you're working, if you have ankle issues, I know a lot of you do have ankle issues. I would definitely do this movement several times a day. It's going to help you to avoid future ankle injuries. It's going to help repair previous injuries that malinger and malinger and malinger. I know this for a fact about ankles. And switch sides. So the first thing you're going to do is just stay here. It's just a nice calf stretch, ankle stretch. And now go ahead and start your forward flexion. So remember, it's the ankle that's doing the work. If you feel this in the knee, you've gone too far. The knee actually follows the direction of the ankle, but it's not the initiator. Everyone's going to look a little different than this, so don't try to look exactly like Kathy, because you have different body parts and different restrictions. Okay. Forward now, forward flexion, but slightly to the inside of the ankle of the foot. So your knee will bend. You don't want to keep your knee straight. Your knee will bend, but the ankle is initiating the movement. and then last to the inside of the foot.
Outside, I think.
Outside of the foot. Yes, outside of the foot. Finish up. Find the back of a chair or something. We're going to do heel lifts with a therapy ball. We'll add a therapy ball. So you don't have to stand on a platform like Kathy is.
I'm only doing that.
She does because the carpet is so squishy. So you're standing in good posture, and then just lift your heels up. Your feet are parallel. Lift your heels up and drop them, and lift and drop, and do this about 6 more times. And now put a therapy ball between your heels on the floor, as far back as you can go and still keep it in there. And so squeeze the therapy ball and continue with the heel lifts. And see if you can make a connection between the feet and the core. So engage your core. Okay. Finish up. And we're going to do split stance, short foot. So you're going to stand in good posture with 1 foot forward and 1 foot back. If this feels like a balancing pose to you, you might want a chair nearby. Starting with the right foot, you're going to find the tripod on the bottom of the foot. Become aware of the tripod, which is the 3 points below your big toe, below your little toe, and then at your heel. Tripod. Find that. Then lift and spread your toes. Engage your abdominals at the lowest point, just underneath your belly button, between your belly button and your pubic bone. And now drop the toes and press the toe pads into the floor and maintain the connection between your core and your foot, and hold. And switch sides. Other foot forward. So the both feet are forward. It's not like a triangle, this spine twist at the wall where 1 foot is out on an angle. So both feet are basically forward. Finding the tripod on the bottom of your foot, lifting and spreading your toes, engaging your abdominals, and now dropping the toes and pressing into the floor with your toes. Seeing if you can make the connection between your foot and your abdominals, your core. This is core work. This is balancing work. This is gait work. This is footwork. Let's do 1 more set. Switch sides. And if you are having trouble standing, You might want to spread your legs a little bit wider. You could try that, Kathy, if you want to spread your legs a little bit wider. Not wider back to front, wider side to side. So take your left leg out a little bit.
Oh.
Forward though, toes forward, but out a little bit.
There we go.
Okay, I think that might make you more stable.
That is easier.
Okay, now right foot, lift, find the tripod, then lift and spread your toes. Engage your abdominals, drop the toes, press the toes into the floor. See if you can find, your attention goes from your foot to your core to your foot. See if you can find that. Breathing, and then stopping, releasing that and switching sides. Short foots. This is a great thing to do when you don't have anything else to do. Stand and you're standing in line. You can also do it without the front to back, the split stance. You can do it with your feet side by side. Go ahead and find the tripod on the bottom of the foot. Lift and spread your toes. Engage your abdominals, as low as you can get, and drop the toes. Stay here, breathe, become aware of the connection between your abdominals and your foot, and your foot and your core, and your core and your foot. And then release that. Find your way to the wall. We're going to do back bend at the wall, a bone building pose for the spine, which is one of the hardest places to build bone density. I love this pose for that. It's also postural. A lot of the poses that we do have lots of benefits. Most of them are aimed at either footwork, posture, osteoporosis, lower back. Bring your arms up overhead, palms or fingertips on the wall behind you. Keep your knees, your ankles, and your hips stacked, and just open your chest. And I'm going to time this so that we can allow time for the osteophytes to build new bone. And slowly make your way out of that movement. We're going to do a spine twist at the wall, right shoulder to the wall, right foot forward, left foot back. And bend your elbows and just rotate your spine towards the wall. Press your hands into the wall. Press your forearms into the wall if you can. So the hips are facing forward and the chest is facing towards the wall. You need a door or a wall for this one. I guess a window. Maybe looks like Christine's trying to find a window. Come on back. We're going to do a spine twist. This is also obviously a bone building pose as well. Left foot forward, left shoulder on the wall, near the wall. Bend your elbows, bring your arms around, rotate your thoracic spine. This is like a triangle or part of a triangle in yoga. I actually think it's more effective than a triangle at building bone and at rotating the thoracic spine. But if anyone asks you if you do triangle in your yoga class, you can say, yes, I do a variation of triangle. Come on back. Before we go to the floor for Yoga Nidra, let's do one more back bend at the wall. Arms overhead. Remember that you're still stacking the knee. The knees and the hips don't come forward. It's the chest that comes forward. I would do this every time I saw a wall during my day. This is obviously a bone building pose, but it's also a postural pose. Builds strength in the muscles along the spine, the upper back. Strength and flexibility. Come on down to the floor for Yoga Nidra, 61-point guided meditation. Find your way onto your back. You want to be warm and comfortable. You may want to put a blanket over your body. Your knees can be bent, your legs can be extended, although you might want to put a pillow or a blanket underneath your knees if you extend your legs, because that's harder extending your legs is harder on the lower back than bending your knees, just so you know, just in general. You may want to put a washcloth over your eyes. I'm going to guide you through 61 points on your body, and I'd like you to become aware of them without moving. So move your attention, but not your body. Starting with the breath, breathing in and breathing out, and observing your belly as it rises and falls with the gentle flow of your breath. Bring your awareness to the center of your eyebrows, center of your throat, right shoulder, elbow, wrist, right thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, right wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, left shoulder, elbow, wrist, left thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, left wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, spiritual heart center, right side of your chest, heart center, left side of your chest, heart center, navel center, center of your pelvis, right hip, knee, ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, right ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, left hip, knee, ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, left ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, navel center, heart center, center of your throat, center of your eyebrows. This completes the 61-point guided meditation. Go ahead and bring your attention back to the room. Extend your legs, extend your arms overhead. Stretch and wiggle, trying to create a little space, little additional space between your rib cage and your pelvis, the top of your pelvis. Wiggle and stretch, wiggle and stretch. Right side, left side. Wiggle your fingers and your toes, ankles, circle your ankles and your wrists. And then hug your right knee into your chest. And then your left. And hug both knees into your chest and roll all the way, rock side to side, and then roll all the way over to one side. Using your bottom arm as a pillow, use your top, put your top hand with your wrist or your palm on the floor, and then use that to bring yourself up to seated. Find your favorite floor seated position, cross-legged, stacked knees, kneesy, whatever you like. Unmute yourself before you do that. I'm going to remove the spotlight. I'm going to go into a gallery view so I can see all of you. Everyone should remove their, unmute themselves, because in a minute we're going to say namaste to each other. Okay, bring your hands into prayer pose. Press the hard, strong, so you can feel the upper back working. And then just go ahead and release, gentle prayer pose. Lift the back of your skull up, just like we did with head ramping. Lift your skull up and then bobble or nod it forward over your cervical spine, the top of the cervical spine, C1. Nodding, bowing to each other, acknowledging, recognizing, and honoring the light in each of us. Each of us honoring and recognizing the light in the others. And recognizing that we are all one light. And then finally closing the class by saying in unison to each other, namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good
Thank
class.
you.